Katie, this is Bill at Roadmap. I just wanted to follow up on your message about performance, and I wanted to show you some things now that I'm back home. Anyway, you see here I have on work items, I have almost 3,500. And I'm sure you probably have a lot more than that because you have over 2,000 projects. But you see I'm only showing 250 items per page. So when I'm sorting, it's going to be a lot faster because it's going to do some server side. So you let the load off onto the server. But other things you can do to really make it so that you reduce the number of things you're displaying is I'm going to say I want to show only projects that are equal to active. That's going to narrow the number of items. Remember, these are work items associated with projects. So that's going to now limit this view. It's already cut down about 1,000. And then some other things, like if you want to narrow by client, and I've created a bunch of different custom attributes here, like one of them is I want to see everything this is related to projects that are email campaigns. And so I'll filter by that. And I might just, I'm not going to apply a time frame here. I'll just take that off. And once I've narrowed it down, then it's a lot easier to create different views for different purposes. So I could save this as a new view, give it a new name there, and reduce the number of columns in there. But when I have it narrowed down like this, it's a lot easier to have more manageable amount of data. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and do a pivot by the project name. Do I have that? Yeah, I do have it displayed. So I just drag this up here. And now it's broken up by project. And again, I still have it. Now it's only 137 items, but it's a great way to narrow the amount of data you're actually playing with, a meaningful amount. And for example, I'm also showing completed items here, so I could say is equal to completed, yes, no, I don't. I only want to see incomplete items. So you can use the attributes in a lot of really powerful ways, including like dates. You can do greater than. So if the project, or in this case the to-do, has a start date. But the work items tab here has a lot of columns that are related to the project. So I could have, put in the project ID or project group, and then any of these custom attributes that I've created that you can then again further characterize and do the same thing by resources. So I'll go ahead and just save this one. And then the same thing goes for resources. I don't know how many resources you have in your system, but you can use resource attributes as another great way to not only make it easier for you to find what you want. So for example, I created one here where I narrowed it by everyone who's a developer. First of all, everyone who's assignable, because you can have people who are not assignable. So if you've imported a lot for Basecamp, you could mark resources or companies or clients, whatever you've imported from Basecamp, mark them as unassignable, and then you can now filter by them. So I'm only showing resources that are assignable. I've narrowed the role to developer, and I'm using the custom attributes. So for example, I created skill, and I said, well, I have to find someone who has to know PHP, and I'll further narrow it to they must be in the New York office, and they must have availability greater than 20 hours, so greater than or equal to, let's say, 20 hours, and the time frame set the next week. So this is a way to, again, to show you how you can use it to find things, but also to narrow it down a lot so that you're not dealing with so much data in your views. You see I only have 100 here, but I probably only have like 200 resources in this particular my test account here anyway. But this is just FYI and how you can do that. Of course, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. And you see here I have this, I'm showing, don't show me any closed projects. Or actually I'm saying, show me where the status is not equal to closed. That means it's going to show every project is either active or on hold. And I know Basecamp New only has active or archived, but Roadmap allows you to actually have in-between statuses like on hold and future, which will still count as an active project from a subscription plan level in Basecamp and Roadmap, but allows you to further slice it. But you see I've used attributes like, again, type equals email. I could break it down by client, by the project health, and then of course now I pivot it by client here. So a lot of things to do to narrow it, and I'm not showing show all, because all then is just tons of data. But when you're not showing, one last point is, even though I'm showing 250 items per page, well actually maybe it's better to go here, where I had so many. When I had over 3,000 items, while it may be having over 3,000 here, if I was showing that, and I say pagination or items per page is 250, when I sort, it's still sorting by the full 3,000. It's just only loading the 250 rows at a time. So anyway, sorry for the long-winded message here, but I thought it would be helpful to share that with you, and see if you have any other questions. Again, reach out. To create your attributes, you just go to Settings. Here's where I go to my project attributes, and I can create all types. And here's where I go to my resource attributes and how I create those. Okay, thanks a lot, and thanks again for using Roadmap.